I will be going over the final part of the domestic violence rapid rehousing application, and that is the domestic violence rapid rehousing referral form. This is the third and final part. This part goes over the basic information about the program itself, eligibility requirements, and the different services it provides for clients who may have vouchers and for clients who don't have vouchers and are looking for rental assistance. As we see, the first part states that the domestic violence rapid housing referral offers a variety of services to support domestic violence survivors in securing safe housing. The type of support provided depends on whether the client already has a housing voucher or shopping letter. For clients with a housing voucher or shopping letter, the domestic violence rapid housing provides housing navigation, case management, and supportive services to help clients effectively use their subsidy to secure safe housing. And for clients without a housing voucher or shopping letter, domestic violence rapid housing can provide rental assistance covering up to 24 months of rent, along with housing navigation, case management, and supportive services. And this part shows the visual eligibility and program offerings for clients with vouchers or shopping letters and for clients without vouchers or shopping letters. So it's the same information listed before, but shown visually. It also states each client group has a referral form of its own. As we see, housing navigation, case management, and supportive services is provided to both clients with housing vouchers and clients without housing vouchers. But rental assistance is only limited to clients without vouchers or shopping letters. No additional rental assistance is given for clients with vouchers or shopping letters, but they will be provided these other three services. And also has an important note that submitting a referral does not guarantee placement. Because openings are limited, most referrals are not selected. This part goes over how to access the domestic violence rapid housing referral form. It states as you proceed down this page, you'll be guided through the following steps. Read the information on this page, learn about the program, how to fill out the referral form, and what to expect next. Check your client's eligibility. Verify if your client meets the HUD Category 4 criteria necessary for a domestic violence rapid housing referral. At the bottom of this page, you'll be directed to the correct form for either clients with vouchers or clients without vouchers. This is an important information for you to read. So how to fill out the domestic violence rapid housing referral form. Fill out the form with your client present or in a call. Please set aside about 30 minutes to complete it. If you already know the answer to a question on the form, simply confirm it with the client. If you're unsure, be sure to ask them. This is important. Do not enter any of your client's personally identifying information in this form, and this includes address, location, name, date of birth, or any information about the client's case that could identify them. The Domestic Violence Rapid Housing Referral Form is an advocate-facing tool meant to be completed by the advocate while talking with the client. You don't need to show or screen share the form with the client. And there is a link to the tip sheet that has more guidance on working with domestic violence survivors. So this is what it looks like. Next part goes over what happens after submitting the form. So you'll receive a confirmation email. Your client's referral will go to the Domestic Violence Rapid Housing Selection Committee, which will select the referrals based on factors such as the client's current risk of severe harm and the barriers they face to securing safe and adequate housing. You'll be notified of your client's selection status within 2 months. If your client is selected, you'll be responsible for notifying them and assisting them in completing any additional consent forms and documentation required by the housing program. What if your client's circumstances change after the referral? If it has been less than 6 months from the day of the referral, complete a domestic violence rapid housing referral update form. And there's a link to it here. This is what it looks like. If it has been longer, make a new referral by submitting a new domestic violence rapid housing referral form. Why is there a separate form from CAPS? The Domestic Violence Rapid Housing Referral Form is separate from CAPS because it collects more sensitive information and is protected by stricter privacy protocols. That's why it must be submitted as a separate step, even if some information overlaps with CAPS. And this is just some important information for you to note. Rapid housing programs do not have their own buildings or housing facilities. The housing support they provide still involves searching for units in open housing market. Even if your client is selected, it can take several months for them to secure safe housing. This has some contact information for an emergency situation. So there's the New York City's 24-hour Hope hotline for shelter information, or the Home Plus program. And also in case of an emergency, of course, call 911. This part goes over the HUD Category 4 eligibility mentioned previously that's required for the Domestic Violence Rapid Housing Program. So it just lists different criterias. They must meet all these three criterias to be found eligible. So they must be meeting this criteria, which is the client is experiencing trauma or lack of safety related to or fleeing or attempting to flee domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, stalking, or other dangerous, traumatic, or life-threatening conditions related to the violence against the individual or a family member in the individual's or family's current housing situation, including where the health and safety of children are jeopardized. The client has no other safe residence, and the client lacks the resources to obtain other safe permanent housing. So the client must meet all these three parts, and you must select all these three parts. If the client does not meet all three parts and you don't select all three parts, the client is not eligible for the Domestic Violence Rapid Rehousing Program. And there is information for a housing resource. There's a link here. But if you collect all three, as you see, there's a green light that shows that they were found eligible for the Domestic Violence Rapid Housing Program. Proceed to the next step in order to access the right form. This part will take you to different parts of the referral form. And this part specifically depends if your client has a valid unexpired housing voucher or your client does not have a valid unexpired housing voucher. If your client has a valid unexpired housing voucher or shopping letter and you select yes, you'll be taken to that specific referral form for those clients. You just click this link here and it takes you to that. If you select no, my client does not have a valid unexpired housing voucher or shopping letter, then the client will be taken to a referral form specifically for those clients. And same thing, there is the link here. And I will go over those two different referral forms in the next videos.